This is, I would say, my top, if not one of my top films of 2023. It literally blew my mind of what the possibilities and what the realms and coloring outside of the lines of films were. This is Quantum Cowboys OT. What did you rate it?
I see that I gave this an 8 when it came out or when we watched this. And when I get here, like at the end of the year and look back at everything we've watched, Quantum Cowboys is a standalone, is a standout in its own. Yep. There's nothing that I've watched this year that just jumped out of the box.
Yes.
And defined its own lane, set its own precedence, showed us that things can be different. Artistic style can vary from scene to scene and still be coherent in some way. Still tell a story that's interesting when it has to do with fucking time loops and time jumps.
Yeah.
Outside of it by being fucking Disney and Loki, and do it in an interesting way. Quantum Cowboys, in as much as I gave it an 8 back then, I cannot bear it in myself to leave it at that because it's a fucking 10.
Hey!
It is a show that just blows your mind on the capabilities of what artistic style is and the direction and the writing and everything that you think. You know, we watched what's the Time Is Non-Linear movie?
Arrival.
We watched Arrival and people were jizzing over it because what? Some unstructured fucking storytelling that wasn't even fucking coherent. Quantum Cowboys comes into the picture and just delivers something that's outside the realms of my understanding of what was capable when it comes to fucking animation, when it comes to storytelling, and just, oh my God, I cannot jizz on this enough. It is just that good. And
Jism Cowboys.
It is one of the best, not only animations, one of the best things I've watched in 2023. Quantum Cowboys just is it. It did its thing. It's Angela Bassett. Facts.
Thank you, Ariana DeBose.
You're welcome.
My Rotten Tomatoes was a 9, but I'm also going to change it to a 10 because we make up the fucking rules. This is our house, friends and lovers. But literally, don't come and talk to me about a film that I don't care about. Unless you're going to talk about Quantum Cowboys, our DMs are closed, friends and lovers. Let's move on. This didn't get a lot of traction. It's interesting when we get the screeners because obviously we get it a little bit earlier. And it's interesting to anticipate whether it's going to be a talked about show or not. This is Bupkis. I enjoyed it. Oh, okay.
I did enjoy it as well. Pete Davidson, he feels a bit misunderstood, but I still enjoy his stuff, the stuff he writes and the stuff he does. I give this an 8.
Same. I feel like Pete Davidson is one of those people where people project onto him because I think, you know, even though he's misunderstood, I think he's made very clear who he is and the struggles he has. And people just want to be like, why weren't these supermodels fuck me? And it's like, who asks? Who's it? That's not even what we're talking about. Anyway, Slip. Quick one.
7.
6. The other two, season 3.
Whoa, 5th 10 of the show. This season 2, you know, there's a season 2 sort of boogeyman that it is fucking hard to follow up a solid season. And the two of us not only elevated, it just delivered scene to scene, laugh out loud moments.
Yep.
Just hilarious writing. And I cannot even think of anything better, man. Like the other two is just it.
As
10.
As Cassidy would say, don't get no better.
Yeah, who thought Canadians could be for this funny?
Right? But it's also like humor around the industry and stuff. But I actually gave it a 9. Okay, so this is the Ivan Sen film with Simon Baker, Limbo.
7.
6. Oh, yes, and thank you to Ivan Sen. We had an interview with Ivan Sen. Also, we had an interview with Brandon Cronenberg for Infinity Pool.
Yeah, I'll give this an 8. I enjoyed it on my second watch more than I did on my first. Really good movie.
And we also have our review as well as the interview. Friends and lovers, feel free to check that out. I was able to attend the opening night for the South African Film Festival and were granted access to digital screeners. I'm going to start off. This is Music Is My Life. And it is about the Black South African artist Joseph Shabalala and I believe Black Ladysmith Mumbo or something. I also believe that it's in the category for the Academy Awards.
All right.
I feel like I was skimming the list, but I might be wrong, friends and lovers. So on the themes that were discussed in the documentary, it deserves all the praise and that's where all my points are going. However, the lens at which it was targeting, I didn't necessarily care for, but it's a solid 8. The Fragile King is one that I watched on my own. I haven't really ventured outside of Kenya and I guess East Africa, like Ethiopia, for example. So I don't really know a lot about South Africa outside of 90 Day Fiance, which again isn't a great frame of reference. But it definitely gave me an insight into, I guess, at least how filmmaking is in South Africa. And the positioning and the potential sort of differences between white and black South Africa was very, like, even through this film, I was like, so I give The Fragile King a 6. Let's go into films we've watched together. Call Me Miles.
I'll give this a 7.5.
I gave it a 7.5 as well. The Honeymoon.
I give it a 7.5 as well.
I gave it a 7. Bama Rush. It's about the sorority.
Yeah. I give this a 7. I think the aspects of the documentary they didn't want to delve deep into.
Yeah.
And they just left it for us, even though they mentioned it. I was like, why? Missed opportunities and all that. 7.
I agree with you, but I gave it a 6. So that's just how my calculations went. Influencer. Really cool indie film. I still believe it's available on Shudder now.
I'll give this an 8.
I gave it an 8 as well. This is the year of sinking, hey?
Yeah.
Again, go and check it out, friends and lovers. It's very good. We are getting into Fast X. We are now in May for those playing at home, friends and lovers. We're going to do a quick lightning round of all of the Fast and Furiouses. There's no patrons here, which is also very interesting as well. Do you want to just go back and forth?
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious?
7.
7. Too Fast, Too Furious?
7.
8.5, how dare you. Tokyo Drift?
6.
6. Fast and Furious 2009?
6.
6. Fast 5?
7.
6.5. Fast and Furious 6?
6.
6.5. Furious 7?
6.
6. The Fate of the Furious?
6.
6. Fast 9, The Fast Saga?
6.
6. And Fast X?
7.
7. Even Creed as well. To me, they're all in the same banding. Some might be incrementally better than the other. I would say Too Fast, Too Furious, again, we already have a full episode, but it is really the landmark of what made the franchise what it was. But anyway, rest in love and peace and power, John Singleton.
Yeah, and Tyrese bring John Singleton on the,
Wild.
Fast franchise, yeah.
Wild. But to me, they're all in the same sort of banding of ratings anyway. Anything you want to say about Fast X? How's your mates, The Rock and Momoa?
I enjoyed Fast X more than I thought I would as well. I think it was a lot of fun. I'm anticipating a lot more distraction and familiar love in Fast X Part 2. I just love the series, man. Like it's even though my average rating for this is a 6, it's enjoyable. It's that kind of movie, It's not going too hard to offend anyone or annoy anyone, but sit back, relax, and be taken for a ride, even if it's out of space.
Friends and lovers, I may not be Liam Neeson, but I do have a particular set of skills. They're not transferable or worth any sort of money, but you could not tell me anything. The moment that I heard Gasolina by Daddy Yankee in Fast X, and I knew off the cuff that was not in any other of the 9 Fast and Furious films, you literally can't tell me anything. That level of knowledge, deep it, fam. That level of knowledge that I had, you couldn't tell me anything. Even though Jesus is taking my Daddy Yankee away, we will always have We will always have the Fast franchise Daddy Yankee.
Jesus Yankee now, eh?
Really? Wow. Let's move on to The Little Mermaid.
I give this a 7.
I gave it a 6.
Mm.
Yeah. We've
How
said
you
a
can
lot.
sing, yeah.
Yeah, we've said a lot, unless you want to say anything else. SBS had a very short mini-series that made it into, was it Cairns or Sundance? I think it was Cairns, which is very exciting, especially for an Australian show. I just want to say it again. I love the themes that it addressed, especially in regards to the comfortability and the convenience for a lot of us to just go on an app and get a delivery food service, and also not acknowledging the potential exploitation because of the demand of that, particularly in regards to delivery riders, especially in Australia where there are so many deaths surrounding it. So I really love that. First off, the show had a focal point in that, and also the way it was addressed, because it was addressed with a lot of care, and I really, really loved it.
I did too, and I gave this show 9.
Well, you better pick up for delivery. I gave it a 10.
Nice.
It was so good. I really enjoyed it. Was it 4 episodes? 100 Years of Warner Brothers.
I give this a 6.
I gave it a 7.
Just because I got some black people to say some wild shit out here. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why are you justifying people's fucking bad decisions back then? Why?
It was literal shucking and jiving for the portrayal of shucking and jiving.
Back then, it didn't really mean that blackface was supposed to be representative. Maybe, don't take me verbatim, but fucking hell. Don't fucking justify this shit.
Yeah.
It does not fucking matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter. It did not matter in fucking King Kong. It did not matter now. Piss off.
Because King Kong
ain't got nothing on me.
Oh, my King Kong daddy. So the thing that I would point out, just because of the current climate, especially in America and around the world, it was interesting in this documentary how they talked about the very deliberate ties for German propaganda films. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's all. Let's move on to The Swarm.
Oh, I'll give this a 6.
I give it a 6 too. Fuck yeah. I'm sick of it. Stop fucking doing, whether it's documentaries or whether it's films about climate change, and not including the Pacific, specifically Tuvalu, also the Caribbean, and also coastal places in Ghana, as well as around Africa. Fuck you. You can do it, spin on it, and fuck off. Nah, sorry. Stop it. And stop making it like it's the don't look up of it all, yeah? Because if you want to do it on climate change and you're not going to include black and brown people and indigenous people, fine. But don't overstate your importance and your struggle. Fuck off.
Fair.
You know what's sustainable? Fucking off. Let's move on. We have fun here. Mad Heidi.
Oh, one of the best indies we've watched this year.
One of the best, yeah.
Very fun. You could tell a lot of people had a hand in it. The storytelling was just hilarious. I gave it a 7, and I think I took a point off because they did some bullshit.
I gave it an 8. Ooh, we're getting into the Sydney Film Festival, OT.
Oh.
I'll try not to make the rest of this special about this film. Red, White and Brass.
Oh. I think this was one of the first opportunities. This was the first opportunity that FYR KT got to host the Q&A for this and to host the screening.
Stop it.
A very monumentous occasion in our household. The movie was good. I watched it, 3 times? Maybe even more. I give this an 8.
I gave it a 10.
Nice.
But I need to speak on something in my soul, OT.
Speak on it.
the richness of storytelling leverages a lot of black cinema in America, but unfortunately benefiting however you want to call it. Pacifica cinema is quite new, but I guess a lot of the tropes and stereotypes that get projected onto brown people can be residual from black cinema, for example.
Yeah.
But also a lot of the richness in storytelling is also expected in a very young sort of industry. So I would say also cadences, that Friends and Lovers, you'll notice we have not done an episode on the Young Rock. And I think when I get a bit spicy, I've probably shared my opinions throughout the podcast about the Young Rock. But it's something special to be able to center our people and our stories and have it through our lens and for our people. You talked about a Black Lady sketch show and how it was made for black women, and everyone can watch it, it's fine, but it was made specifically for black women. I feel like Red, White, and Brass was made for our people. And when I say our, it's a collective our of Māori and Pacifica people. And the way in which it was able to deliver emotional resonance, we weren't made as caricatures. We weren't, as you were mentioning earlier, shucking and jiving. We could just be us. We could be us in all our glory and in all our faults as well.
Yeah, true.
And I really enjoy that. Shout out to Noah for now. He'd be bringing it out. We even talked about the Panthers the other year. It's a great time for, if you know where to look, it's a great time for Pacifica as well as Māori storytelling and cinema. Let's move on. We're still in the Sydney Film Festival. The Last Order was just me. Great film. Again, check out all the reviews that we have on our feed. I give it an 8. Kindred, I give it 7.5. Also, thank you for all the interviews that we did. The Last Order was Nathaniel. Kindred was with Gina Tennyson, with Amin Palangi, which go and listen to the review because I talk about a cute little anecdote that Amin and I have about his last name. Free Money, OT. Oh, actually, Tennyson, I gave a 9. Free Money.
I'd give this an 8.
I give it a 7. The extra point was being Kenyan, hey?
Yeah.
Okay. Sisu, the flagship man movie.
I'll give it a 7.
I gave it a 6. Love Road, I gave a 6. Past Lives, which you also, again, I think the only thing you caught up was The Pope's Exorcist, but Past Lives, 7.5. The Wrath of Becky.
Oh, I'll give this an 8.
What?
Yeah.
Who did I watch the film with?
I think upon reflection, I thought I had a fun time out. I didn't even need to watch the first movie. They wrapped it up in a bow for me in the first 5 minutes. And I felt part of the family, you know? I didn't feel like, you know, the odd cousin out. So they took me on a journey and I appreciated it. Maybe immediately after the movie, I didn't really feel the love. But having stewed on it after a couple of months, I give it an 8.
Okay. Love Road, it's fine. I gave it a 6. Yeah. Love Road, I also had the opportunity to chat to Ulysses. For Ajuma, I had the opportunity to chat to Shuming Her. I gave Ajuma a 9.5.
Oh, nice.
Just in case you need to hear that bass in my chest, I gave it a 9.5. Bobi Wine, the People's President, which timely.
Very timely. I give this a 9. Showcases and highlights the people's struggle to try and educate and shake things up in a country where democracy is not really laid out like that.
What did you think about the current leader, though, in the interviews in Bobi Wine's documentary?
It could only be one way. I felt a lot of the things that were covered, I already knew just because of my connection to East Africa and the news. These things are known. But at the end of the day, I knew of his struggles way before I watched this documentary, and watching it, I think the thing that got me was more the relationship with the wife aspect, because that's behind closed doors and really don't really get to know about that. And the support he gets from His wife is
she like a Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama?
She is, man. I think Majors is just missing a key out here.
Yikes. You didn't have to spell it out. The reference was there.
I know. God damn it.
But also congratulations to Bobi and the team because the documentary won the prestigious International Documentary Award.
Nice. Because, like, I don't know about you, but putting your life out there, knowing full well that the possibility of you getting killed is fucking high. Being shot at, your bodyguard's being dropped, and you're still out here fighting the good fight. What can I say? Keep it up. It's a good documentary.
But it's got to be done, right?
It's got to be done. At the end of the day, if living life without, settling for shit is not good. And you got to deserve better. You got to demand better for your country and for yourself.
Wow, power to the people, OT.
Power to the people.
I gave it a 10. Did I say?
Ooh.
Yeah, I gave it a 10. And that might just be because I learnt a lot of stuff that you probably already knew. But I really, I think it was a well-done documentary. Spicy, muy caliente. We're talking about combinated and consolidated. This is New Jack City, bitches. We have another patron rating.
Oh, all right.
Ben.
Tell me.
Ben. I haven't seen New Jack City for a long time, but I always considered it so underrated it was painful. Having been waiting for the right moment and time to be brought up so we could cover it on the pod. I'm sure a reprisal now I'm grown a bit will graduate it up from my current 8 status, but considering the time and love you guys dedicated to it, I'm going to perhaps prematurely upgrade it in advance. To what rating?
A 9.
A 9.
Well, I'm pretty sure he could take it farther to a 10, but
okay.
I will not be greedy. I'll take a 9. Because this...
I thought Ben also rated Soul Food last year as well.
Yeah.
New Jack City. Sorry, continue.
New Jack City is a 10 for me.
So good.
It just encapsulates what good cinema is.
It's Peeblin.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Exactly.
I gave it a 10 as well, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't count my 10s. I just give 10s where they deserve to be given. Wesley Snipes. I'm not going to say they don't make them like that anymore because I've got OT right here. I've got Daniel Kaluuya hiding from my DMs, but they don't make them like that anymore. Nice. Talk to me.
Oh, another enjoyable horror for this year. I give it an 8.
I gave it an 8. A solid 8 at that.
Yeah.
Congrats to Talk to Me because it's making a lot of top 10 horror films.
Nice.
At the end of the
year.
Well
deserved.
Not well deserved. This is Barbie.
Wow.
We have another patron rating, OT.
Talk to me.
This is from Sam T. Barbie wasn't made for me, so I didn't really get into this film expecting anything. But man, Katie was on fire with her review, which gave me a different perspective of this film. I appreciate the honesty because it really does highlight the problems of white feminism. Did you hear that?
They need to put white there.
Do you need me to say it again for the people in the back? As Katie says, miss me with that mess. What do you think Sam T rated it?
6.
An 8.
Oof.
Yes, which means he's bringing up the rating, but I also love and appreciate you. So thank you, Sam T. As we know, friends and lovers, because it's one of, if not the most popular episode of this year, I rated Barbie a 5.
Fair.
Which is rotten in this household. Let's move on to Streets of Color.
Oh, I'll give this a 6.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 too. Insidious, The Red Door.
Ooh, another 6.
Yep, another 6. Oppenheimer. We have another patron rating, OT. we have a double patron rating, OT. Okay, the first one's from Julio. Also, I think it's very funny that you had an opportunity and you still didn't watch Oppenheimer. But anyway. So this is from Julio. Oppie was face-meltingly good. An entertaining depiction of a man's rise and fall, of humanity's inevitable misuse of scientific breakthroughs, and of course, it also gave us that meme of naked Cillian Murphy with his legs crossed. How many points is a naked Cillian Murphy worth to you?
Oh, I think Julio overvalued the nakedness, and I think he gave it a 9.
He did give it a 9.
Oh,
I don't know if that's credit to you, Julio, or Cillian Murphy's legs.
Mm.
The next rating we have is from Sam T.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who absolutely loved Oppenheimer, mainly because of the great cinematic experience I had, I really enjoyed Katie's insight into the moral quandary and the way it wasn't really explored in this film. And it's true about the sex scenes being he's quoting me, vanilla swirl on a Wednesday. And how they were just there, lol, got me cracking up. All in all, I enjoyed this one, as well as the Barbenheimer discussion. In brackets, shout outs to Katie being interviewed on BBC.
I don't know what that
I'll
was.
cry. Thank you, Sam T. We love you so much, especially for all the years of support. We love and appreciate you, as well as all of our patrons. What do you think Sam rated it?
An 8.
A 9.
Oh.
I love these patrons, but they're changing my average. I gave Oppenheimer a 7. This is an independent film after she died.
Oh, I'll give this a 7.
7. Let's move on. Swagger.
Sadly, it's not going to get a new season, but it is a show.
Hopefully, things don't die, hopefully.
It's a show that encapsulates a lot. I think it takes you on a journey of self-discovery and learning and growing. And this show, I give a 9.
Yeah, me too. We have a full review episode. Baila, baila, baila.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't speak Spanish, I speak Spanish, friends and lovers. Let's move on. Shout outs to Marcellus Cox and the team. We're talking about Mickey Hardaway. How many films can you say, indie or otherwise, but more credit because it's indie, how many films can you say focus on not just mental health for Black people, but mental health for Black men?
I think this is the first that I watched that does that. But Mickey Hardaway just takes us there. It highlights issues in society and things that we need to be able to talk about openly as Black men. And this movie does really a good job of it. I give it an 8.
Nice. Congratulations to Marcellus and the team. They had a screening at Harvard. They also were part of a series of the Criterion Collection as well.
Oh, nice. And
he's also working on his second feature film. So it's very exciting, friends and lovers. Speaking of the making of film, what a back-to-back timing. Project Greenlight.
Oh, when we got the screener for this, I never really watched Project Greenlight back in the day like that. So it was...
Based on the way it was made, it makes sense why.
Yeah, really intriguing to watch how the process of making a movie and what it entails. I think it not only provided entertainment value, but also some learnings into people who are interested in behind the scenes stuff. I give this a 9.
I gave it a 9 as well. It's so interesting, friends and lovers, because, you know, we do work fucking hard, but we also very honored by the achievements that we get in this podcast. But I appreciate our day ones, or even, you know, new day ones that come along and just see us for the nasty people in the dark corner of their studio, right? Because that's how I always feel that we are. But the interesting thing about Project Greenlight is someone that worked on the team that potentially might have been in the actual series sent us a DM.
Oh, really?
To a Twitter thread about them talking about Miko, the director. about how potentially it was played for drama.
Oh.
So I kind of want to hear, we don't have to get, salacious, but I just want to get your thoughts on, first, the fact that we did a review because that's what we do. But someone involved in the project also felt the need to reach out to us to clarify. And what your thoughts are on, like, does that change your opinion? Is that too close of the worlds melding? Like, what do you think about that?
First of all, there are very few things that can be edited or made to seem as if it was made dramatic. I think the issues fundamentally for me with Miko, the director, was the inability, not even the inability, the hesitance to use other black people in a work. Up and coming. She's been given a step up, but she did not want to give anyone else a step up. And that just irritated the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I could not understand how.
Especially because you're on this show.
Yeah.
You were given a shot.
There's no amount of fucking editing that can make those words come out of your mouth.
I agree with you. I don't think that people can review something without being challenged. But I think the very notion of us being contacted to be like, oh, no, you misunderstood the director because of editing, which maybe we did, but also, as far as I understood, people had influence on how the show was made. It wasn't like a reality where they weren't in control. But anyway.
Miss me, man. Miss me.
Man, I never know what I'm going to get with you, OT, but I'm glad you went there with me.
No, I need my people to stand over fucking people they're being given opportunities with. You've been given a platform to do something and you're like, brah, I just want to carry myself out of this mess.
But if you acknowledge there's a disparity, then of course people might not be able to tick every box, but that's okay as well.
It's okay.
We all come up together or we don't come up at all.
Yeah.
And that's also what Issa says as well. So what is this?
Yeah, and in this review, I think we mentioned a lot of the issues that we felt that were ongoing in the background process of this.
Yeah.
And I still stand by them. Like, we needed more transparency from, Issa's company, whoever was dealing with that fucking project. Just be more involved, whatever, because it felt very disjointed to me.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot of things were left on Miko and the producer's lap to do a lot of, and they only came into the picture once things were going haywire, which isn't fair. And it's not 100% on Miko because she needed better direction than that.
No, but even her comments were her own.
But her comments were her own. And that's why I said, like, come on now. You can do better than that shit.
Couldn't be me.
No, not in this day and age of 2020 fucking 3, man.
Do you want some joy, my love?
Give me some joy.
We'll talk about the Equalizer trilogy.
That's
Best protect your neck, OT.
Yeah.
Right, first the Equalizer.
Oh, I give this a 9.
This franchise exists on a banding to me. And when I say banding, I mean it stays within that realm. It doesn't mean they're bad films, but that's just where they stay with me. This is the highest of the trilogy for me. It's an 8.
Okay.
2?
Equalizer 2, I give an 8.
6. See, this is where it drops for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the Equalizer 3.
Equalizer 3, I gave a 7.
6.
Yeah, like, I think going through from fast to third, there's just quality decrease as you go along. You could see in our Maya and Katie's rating, like, it's there. Denzel does an amazing job, but the story is just, yeah.
Scrapper.
Yeah. Oh, Scrapper. I give this an 8.
7.
Okay.
It Lives Inside.
Missed opportunity. I give it a 7.
7. I feel like that Tyra Banks, we were all rooting for you.
Yeah. I think the first 30 minutes, this movie was sitting at a 9 for me. And then it just did things that just felt a bit too commercialized or Eurocentric.
Broadened. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Oti's coming with his full foot. Okay. Young Love. Shout out to Matthew A. Cherry and the team.
Oh, I give this a 9.
I gave it a 10.
Nice.
Well deserved. Our flag means death.
Oh, I give this an 8.
7. Saw X. Oh, shout outs to Timprovise, our mate, which was the main motivation for watching the screeners for our flag me and stuff. I know a lot of people love the show, but it's like Rick and Morty in live action for me. Saw X.
I'll give this a 7.
5.
5. Okay.
You gotta know, that's like after 10 movies.
I'm not even gonna drill you. Like,
I don't even know how people enjoyed it. And even, is this the one where you say you were getting emotional?
a little bit.
And like other people will say, I just don't get it. Like it just doesn't calculate to me. But anyway. Oh, Retribution. I definitely enjoyed this more than you.
You did? I give it 6.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Stalbenda.
Oh, Adesanya. I give this a 9.
I gave it a 9 too. Shout out to Zoe McIntosh. Shout outs to Israel Adesanya. Shout outs to his therapist.
Yeah, those therapy sessions, man. Far out.
Yeah. Night Bloomers. Ooh. Shout outs to Andy Lee, who I also had the opportunity to interview.
Really enjoyed this. I give it an 8.
I gave it a 9.5. It's cool. It's cool to see in the landscape of Australian media. That's all I'll say on that for now. Scary Girl. Shout outs to Nathan Jurovicius, who I also had the chance to chat to as well.
Give it an 8.
7. Cobweb. This was another fun milestone for me watching this year.
Very fun movie. I give it a 9.
I gave it a 9 too. Look at us. Shout outs to Noura Niasari, who I interviewed for her film Shader, which is the official foreign international category for Australia for the Academy Awards.
Nice.
I don't think you had a chance to watch it, but I've rated it a 9.
Nice.
It's also, there's been so many great interviews this year, but that was definitely one of the highlights for me. Because of how we could talk about making films and how our stories come at a cost and how it was a story in Australia. Nice. I love that. Stories about Australia that doesn't center white Australia are my favorite sorts of stories. Let's move on. Oh, we've hit Top Boy OT. Oof. We've split them out only because the Rotten Tomatoes do it by separate seasons. So that's why we've split them out. You want to do a speed round?
Let's do.
Top Boy Season 1.
8.
6. It's pretty much going to go this way, I'm sure. Summer House. So Top Boy Summer House Season 2.
8.
6. Top Boy Netflix Season 1.
8.
6. Top Boy Netflix Season 2.
7.
6. Top Boy Netflix Season 3.
6.5.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, I see that I gave it a 7, but there were so many missed opportunities with this.
Wait, this is the first that you're revising that you're marking it down?
Yeah. I can't sit here and say the third season was anything other than a 6.5. The 7 there, I think, was just more emotions than anything else. But throughout the whole series, I think I gave it a far enough high mark. Just the last season. Come on now.
Come on. Again, this was another banding for me. I think I rated all of them 6. If it came out like 20 years ago. No, but really, the richness and storytelling of that genre.
Also before Gangs of London.
Gangs of London is better than this. I've said that.
Yeah, I thought I'd try and get you to repeat that and you wouldn't, but there you go.
You're going to have to find the things that I don't say on the podcast if you want to get a scintillating soundbite from me. Speaking of scintillating soundbite, you're not going to find it in Faux. Ew. You're not interested in watching this, are you?
No.
Yeah. You can see why I gave it a 5. That might be my third Rotten. But I also made it Rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Brand Bollywood Down Under, which you didn't have a chance to watch, I rated a 6. The Big Dog.
Ooh, I had fun with the big dog. I give it a 7.
Considering, and I feel like Dane will appreciate, and the 2C Productions team will appreciate this reference. Considering we just got a cred South Park episode, and we literally had not just microwave engorged in large Randy balls, but we had so much Randy balls in that episode. There was definitely a pulling of a proverbial nudity and sexual punch in the big dog, which I really feel like it could have gone there. Mm. I don't know how nasty the rest of the audience was, but I'm like, let's get into it. Let's do it. So that's the reason why I gave it a 6. Scavenger's Reign. Again, I talk about milestones of the year. I feel like Scavenger's Reign is one of them.
Yeah, I think together with Quantum Cowboys, Scavenger's Reign storytelling just took an even artistic style and direction. Amazing, breathtaking, just different and fresh take on sci-fi. I give it a 9.
I gave it a 9 as well.
It seems like animation really pulled up this year and just gave us something completely different.
Yeah. And you gotta praise that. Well, you don't need to. I'm not like OT. I don't tell you what to do.
No, you gotta.
Well, yeah, it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. So let's move into, we're in December now, friends and lovers. Bad Behavior, which you didn't watch. I gave it a 6. Mm-hmm. The Promise, I gave a 6. Uproar, shout outs to Phoebe for coming with me. I gave it a 6. Okay. The Prince of Egypt, musical.
I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7 too.
Yeah, Zipporah added that extra point in there.
She really did.
Yeah.
The Angle documentary.
I give it an 8.
I gave it an 8 as well. And Bookie.
9. Oh, and I think
9's high.
9's high.
I gave it an 8. But you told me, let me bask in your 9 glory.
Even up until the season finale, I felt that this show just took us to lengths and just to be lighthearted and fun. And it wasn't scared of taking a chance to do something brave with a character or just to be silly in a moment where a lot of other shows would have taken a step back.
Okay.
I think even in its silent moments, it still delivers quite a punch there. And the delivery with the 2 actors, lead actors, just the dynamism, man. Like, what can I say about this? It's a really, really good show. And 9 is such a deserved mark.
Okay.
Maybe just a little more laugh out loud moments would have pushed it to a 10, but I can't be picky. 9 it is.
It was a lot of fun. And just like the grandma said, how am I going to watch my dragon shit?
Yep.
Shout out to Omar Dorsey. He retweeted us on Twitter. Yeah, I gave it an 8. I really enjoyed it. An 8's okay. We've come to the end, friends and lovers. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to get to Wonka, but since we did already watch it, you want to quickly rate it?
Why not?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the 1971.
Gene Wilder. We rewatched this recently before we went to watch Wonka, and it still stood the test of time. It was hilarious. It was fun. It felt like we've not watched a movie like that in such a long time.
Right?
And I give it a 9 because wow.
Wow. And it was like the white soul food because they were putting all their traumas onto that poor Charlie bucket. I also gave it a 9. Yeah, because sometimes watching films, like, I don't know. I think it's more plagues me than it plagues OT, but there's a certain level of cynicism, or maybe it's just a higher level of analysis or maybe attention to detail. But I do, yeah, I just want to fall in love again. I want to fall into the whimsy. I want to be immersed in cinema. I thought that was the boy in the hair round, but fortunately, it wasn't that. But it was this year's Wonka OT.
Mm-hmm.
Give us your rating.
Ooh, Timothy did his thing. Timothy. I give it an A.
I gave it an 8.5. I wanted to give it a 9, but it's not as good as the 1971. Yeah. And shout outs to everyone that I understand, because I am a heartless bitch, but shout outs to everyone that was surprised that I said I cried at Wonka. Can you let my masculine energy cry sometimes? Is that okay?
Cries a lot, man.
It does, and I'm still a fucking bitch. So make that make sense, friends and lovers. But we've come to the end of the year. As you can see, we've covered a lot, but there's even so much that I feel like we didn't cover that I wish we covered. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They're wildly mopping me.
Because I was embarrassed to admit it, because then people were like, why aren't you covering it? Into the Spider-Verse, or Across the Spider-Verse. They cloned Tyrone. The Burial. Like, there's so much that we've watched that we didn't get to cover this year. And, you know, maybe it's a rejigging of the format. But yeah, how has this year been for you, my love?
A lot of the things that we've talked about that happened this year feels like such a long time ago. But it's a year where we've really enjoyed a lot of good shows and movies. We've got a lot of access to premieres and pilots that we never really thought we could get, which has made it a bit more interesting to cover stuff, you know. And yeah, I couldn't be more thankful for this year. It's being Rotten Tomatoes certified. That feels like such a long time ago, but apparently it was this year. So there's a lot of things that have been made this year, especially new things that are still pending that will probably be announced next year, that got us into bigger and better things, and hopefully more to come in the future.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think, you know, Rob mentioned that every time I do like a newsletter or we do like a patron thing, I say it's the biggest month yet. Every month just gets more busier and busier. But I do want to lay my love and splooshes to you, OT, because we are a 2-person operation and we love it. We love rolling around in the trenches, if you're not too nasty, TMI nasty. But this is a labor of love, and I love going through this journey with you. And I'm like, it's been a great year. It's been fucking tiring. Motherfuckers been trying out here, but there's also a lot of love, and even being able to reflect on the year through the ratings. And we're going to be hitting our 5 years in February.
We are.
Friends and lovers. So, you know, they say, what is it? Like 90% of podcasts don't make it past 10 episodes. Yeah, so it's definitely a milestone for us. And we love you guys so much. And, you know, whatever your plans are, I'll be sitting and eating prawns and oysters all day because it's the breast milk of my people. But yeah, so we love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us in whatever capacity throughout the year. Thank you for hyping us up. No, thank you for all the yellow face takes that you all want to talk to me about, but I'll always have the DMs open. And we love you guys so much. We hope you have a very restful break and you bring in 2024 with all of the energy and love that you deserve. And signing off from your delicious, nasty friends and lovers in the For Your Reference household.
Oh, for sure.
If you've got some downtime on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Spill, we're at For Your Ref Pod.
Write us an email at hello@frpodcast.com.
We're also on All the Love to You and Yours podcast if you'd like to leave a rating and review. And we'll see you guys Actually, we've got some interviews coming up for the end of the year. Of course we do. But we love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. And just like our interview coming up soon, we'll see you in your dreams. Mwah!
See ya.
Bye-bye.